Hey guys, Captain Dylan Hubbard here at Hubbard's Marina live studios, and we are ready for another Sunday night live stream show. That's right, y'all. It's Sunday night, and it's time for that live stream show. We're going to be talking all about fishing, answering your questions live during the show, showing you guys lots more about Hubbard's Marina, what we're catching, what's going on now, and what's coming up. Also, we're going to be giving away free fishing trips. You want a chance for lots of free fishing trips? This is it. This is your shot. And hopefully you're ready for a good show tonight. I know we are. We always enjoy having you guys and just talking fishing and having a good time doing it. So thank you for everybody tuning in and hanging out with us here for our Sunday night show. And it's always a good experience talking fishing, answering your questions, and giving away free trips. Remember, in order to win some free trips, you do have to comment at least one time on the Hubbard's Marina Facebook stream. So go over there to facebook.com, find the Hubbard's Marina page and the live stream from there, and then comment at least once. And that enters you for a chance to win those those free trips. And definitely a good opportunity tonight to win free trips and hang out and talk fishing. Remember, if you have a question that you want answered live during the show, you do have to text in those questions to the phone number on the screen. Right at the bottom of the page there, you can find the phone number in order to text in your questions, because remember, if you comment a question, it disappears really fast. We won't get a chance to see it. So make sure you text in any questions that you want answered live during the show. So that way we'll make sure we see them and answer your question during the live stream. Also, big shout out to our friends over there at Gator Jim's Tackle, 3301 Pinellas Point Drive South in St. Petersburg. If you haven't stopped by and seen our friends over at Gator Gyms, make sure you do so. They have great tackle selection. They're really cool people over there, super nice, very experienced, and they have it all. So stop in, see our friends at Gator Gyms for a free gift. If you bring a young angler with you and tell them Hubbard's Marina sent you, there's an opportunity for free gifts. So make sure you stop in and say hello to our friends at Gator Gyms. Want to give a big shout out to all our friends sending stars tonight. We had Jim Evans, Larry White, Stephen Batchelor, Terry Feather, Tim Harris, Tim Dykes, Michael D. Marinville, Adam Franklin, David Pruitt, Nick Nieves with the big 1200, Tony Barnes, Jeff Reedy, Tim McCardle, Tegwin Stockdale, Billy Murray with 1,230 stars. Thank you, Billy. Rick Rogers with 500. Thank you guys all for sending stars. We really, really appreciate it. For those of you not watching on Facebook, stars are just a way for those watching on Facebook to show their support, and it's super helpful. And it continues to fuel all the great stuff that we do during this live stream show. So really appreciate all those who are sending stars. It really helps us out. Nick Nieves, Skyway Fishing Club with another 1,200. That makes 24 on the night. Thanks, Nick. Appreciate it, buddy. Also, want to give a shout out to our supporters out there, all the supporters. We really appreciate you greatly, very, very much. A big way that fuels and helps out our live stream shows as well. D Beers, appreciate those 1,000 stars. Thank you very much, D. We appreciate it. Thank you for your support, those of you sending stars, and especially those of you who are supporters. Really, really appreciate your support and continued patronage with us at Hubbard's Marina. Now, we want to make sure you know how to win some free trips, right? Hopefully, you're excited about potentially winning some free fishing trips with us tonight. We're also giving away a Salinity Gear gift pack. That is a Salinity Gear fishing shirt, either hooded or not hooded, long sleeve performance fishing shirt. So you could win a Salinity Gear gift pack. You could win a 5-hour half day for two, a 10-hour all day for two, or a 39-hour fishing trip for one during the show tonight, all you have to do is comment at least once on the live stream. That enters you for a chance to win. Billy Murray with another 1,200 stars. That makes like 2,500 for you tonight, Billy. Appreciate it, buddy. So make sure you comment at least once on the Hubbard's Marina Facebook stream. That enters you for a chance to win those free trips. Then all you have to do is watch live, and if you're picked as the lucky winner, you have to text us at that phone number on the screen, your full home address for claiming the trip. That's how you claim the trip after you get picked. Eric Seberg, appreciate those stars, my man. Also, don't forget to comment. Let us know where you're watching from. Are you watching from Tampa, St. Pete, Ohio, Michigan, New York? Where are you watching from? Drop a comment. Let us know where you're watching from. Don't forget also to make sure you like our page, subscribe on YouTube, follow us on Instagram, Trovo, Twitch, TikTok, LinkedIn. We got a lot of different social media, Snapchat, Twitter, all that good stuff. Estelle Wolfman, thank you so much for those stars. Richard Fonzio, Nick Nieves again, thank you, buddy. Also, make sure to like and share the stream. If you're watching on Facebook, don't forget to share it to your page, your timeline, your favorite fishing group. We'd really appreciate it. Don Schuett, what's up, buddy? Was talking about you and Libby today at the seminar. Someone was talking about that 39-hour trip recently, and they were like, this guy and his daughter were fishing on the trip, and she was catching a ton of fish. And I was telling the story about you guys and how you travel in town to visit your daughter, Libby, and you guys go fishing together when you're in town. It was pretty cool. So appreciate everybody tuning in, watching. Big thank you to our supporters group. If you're not a part of our supporters group, you can become a supporter tonight. It's really easy to become a supporter. Josh is going to drop the link into the chat. So if you want a chance to become a supporter, it's only $4.99 a month. You get private access to our private supporters group and a little bit more one-on-one communication and access to our private supporters only after show. Craig Robinson, appreciate those 100 stars. Thank you so much, buddy. So think about becoming a supporter tonight. It's pretty cool. It's pretty fun. And we always have a good time over in the supporters group. Besides that, it's time to get into some photos, show you guys what we've been catching now, how these shows work. We do a little intro, then we talk about what's going on inshore, show you photos, we show you what's happening near shore and offshore. Then we talk a little bit about some questions, or about some weather, and then we get into your questions. So make sure to stay tuned, sit back, relax, and get ready for that great show. Billy Murray with 300 stars. Thanks, buddy. Appreciate it, man. Billy's up to 2,800. I think Billy and Nick are in a little bit of a dogfight tonight, but I think Billy just took the lead. What do you think, Josh? All right, so let's get into these photos and show you guys what we're catching inshore right now. Inshore, the pompano bite has been picked up recently. Definitely seeing a lot of pompano around our passes, around those sandy channels, and especially around that cleaner, clearer water. But it's tricky when we have dirty water from these cold fronts, from these high pressures. It stirs up the water, makes it a little bit more murky, makes it more difficult to find and stay on those pompano for sure. But some lucky anglers were getting them and catching them pretty well, especially local jetties, whether it's Pass-A-Grille, Blinds Pass, Sand Key, Clearwater Pass, Johns Pass, all great opportunities to find and catch plentiful pompano. Nick Nieves with 1,000 stars and then another 150 just to make sure he's on top. Anthony Smith, appreciate you, buddy. Thank you very much as well. Besides the pompano, the redfish action's going well around the mangrove shorelines, grass flats, oyster bars. This is the time of year where you find those redfish chasing those mullet. Actually, one cool thing here I want to emphasize. So, that's kind of a cool spot on the tail of that redfish too. Almost looks like a heart. Well, that's not what I was trying to show you though. I was trying to show you this blue tint to that redfish tail. You know what that means? That means they're eating a lot of crustaceans, shrimp to be exact. So this is the time of year where water's cooling off. Those redfish start to eat more shrimp, get more shrimp in their diet, and they get that really cool looking bluish tint to their tail. Surefire sign, more crustaceans are in the diet, and also a good indicator they're moving into that wintertime pattern, chasing the crustaceans up on the flats and also the oyster bars. We're still seeing snook around the passes, surprisingly enough, still catching snook along the boardwalk, which is pretty crazy as being as cold as it is, but definitely still some snook around the passes. And a lot of those snook moved back into the back bay. You can tell by how dark this snook is that this was caught further into the upper bay, back bay area, closer to that kind of freshwater, brackish area. That's when they get that real dark tint to them because they start to mimic the water around them. They change their shading. That clean or that fresh water, that brackish water is really dark. So those dark snook are typically from that brackish water mixing area. You can see this one's starting to get darker in color compared to this one, caught in Johns Pass, still pretty light colored out on the beach. So pretty interesting. Another one from Johns Pass, super light in color hanging around the passes. And it can almost indicate kind of where in the estuary those snook come from typically. Like this one kind of making its way back to the back bay waters, a little dark, but not really fully freshwater dark. So pretty interesting. The snook are very active around the area though, and we've been seeing plenty of those redfish. Now, one thing I wanted to point out on the redfish too is besides the fact that they're eating a lot of crustaceans, this time of year those redfish tend to follow those schools of mullet, and the dead cut bait becomes a really good option for those redfish following schools of mullet. So you find a big school of mullet on the flats, you throw in some cut ladyfish, some cut mullet, dead pinfish, cut threadfin. Real good option to target those ladyfish, or excuse me, those redfish following those schools of mullet. Snook, on the other hand, they get more spread out. They're pretty actively feeding, looking for those soft plastics, those swim baits, those twitch baits. Typically, when the water is really cool, those snook are going to be in shallower areas, kind of sunning themselves. They get up shallow on the flats, on those little edges of the mangroves, and they're trying to stay warm. Also, dock lines start to really pick up, especially back bay dock lines around that dark bay mud. Really is a good spot to find the snook this time of year as well. Flounder action, definitely seeing a lot of flounder inshore, around the passes, around the bridge, docks, and also even near shore and shallow waters like our 5-hour half day, 10-hour all day. We're seeing some big flounder. They will reopen. They have a seasonal closure for their spawn, but they're going to reopen December 1st. We should see more of those flounder around too. And that's about it inshore. We're going to work our way near shore and offshore here, show you guys what we've been catching near shore and offshore. Then we're going to get into some weather, talk a little bit about the weather, and then we'll get into your questions. So remember, if you do have a question, got to text it to the phone number on the screen. That's important. Michael D. Marinville, appreciate those extra stars, buddy. Libby, what's going on? Thank you for the stars. We appreciate it. All right, so moving near shore and offshore, here's some photos from our slow pitch jigging 39-hour trip. Definitely they caught some good quality fish on that slow pitch jigging trip. Fishing was a little bit slower than we would have liked, but the guys who really knew what they were doing caught some nice quality fish, and the trip was full of advanced anglers who really knew what they were doing. So some good quality fish caught, just not a lot of numbers. We unfortunately dealt with a lot of red grouper and red snapper, and even some amberjack. All three of those had to unfortunately be released. But we did catch some good quality keeper fish, and we're going to show you real quick some of those fish. Tegwin Stockdale, appreciate those stars. That slow pitch jigging trip found some nice blackfin tuna. They really caught some nice blackfin tuna and some pretty good numbers. We've been seeing a lot of blackfin tuna. This one was from a 39-hour trip. I think it was either after or previous to that slow pitch jigging trip. We definitely got a lot of tuna recently on really almost every 39-hour trip. It's been pretty crazy. Billy Murray with 1,210 stars. Thanks, buddy. He retook the lead. They are going at it. Another big blackfin tuna here. You can see, like I was saying, just a ton of blackfin tuna recently. Here's Don Shuett showing off one of his big blackfins. There's Libby, his daughter, with another big blackfin tuna. Just absolutely crushed it out there. There's one from the slow pitch jigging trip. Also, the gag grouper action has been pretty steady from the inshore, shallow water areas. This is our 5-hour half day to our 39-hour trip. We're finding those gag grouper. They're really starting to move in pretty good numbers, and we're really starting to see some good numbers of gag grouper, even in the shallower nearshore waters, which is exciting. And we're still catching plenty of them offshore and deeper water too. Definitely some solid gag grouper fishing around the area from inshore to nearshore to offshore. The big boys are definitely more common offshore out in deeper water, but we're seeing some nice gags on our 5-hour private charters, 6-hour private charters, 8-hour private charters, even our 10-hour all day starting to find some nice big gag grouper. But really, the majority of the gags are being caught on our 39-hour, on our 44-hour, and a few nice ones on those 12-hour extreme trips. Just massive numbers of gag grouper. As you can see from these photos, the gag grouper fishing is hot, hot, hot. Let's see here. Scott Flynn, appreciate those 200 stars. And then Nick Niaz comes back with 3,000 stars. I think that puts him up over 5,000 stars on the night. So I don't know, Billy Murray. We'll see. Nice gag grouper action from the 39-hour in deep water. We'll see some nice hogfish. The hogfish bite's been going real well. This one from our friend Rick, one of our supporters group and regulars club members. Beautiful hogfish on the 10-hour all-day trip. Rick caught a second one that day. This is a second hogfish that Rick caught on a recent 10-hour trip. So definitely some nice hogfish action going around. 5-hour half day, 10-hour all day. Good opportunities for those hogfish. Also the nearshore private charters. Mangrove snapper fishing has been good lately. We've been catching some nice mangrove snapper. Also, we caught recently a nice true black grouper, also known as a carbo or carborita. That's a true black grouper right there, or a carbo or carborita grouper. Beautiful fish. We've been seeing some big mutton snapper. The mutton snapper have been pretty darn plentiful. Since Hurricane Ian, it seems we got a really big push of mutton snapper and also yellowtail snapper. Been seeing some solid scamp, some big triggerfish. Actually had a 39-hour the other day that limited out on triggerfish. Caught a boat limit of triggerfish. Boat 2-day limit of triggerfish, which is crazy. Here's some yellowtail from that 12-hour, or excuse me, from that 39-hour slow pitch jigging trip. Doug and Brian, these two gentlemen here, came all the way from Colorado to fish with us on that slow pitch jigging trip, which was pretty cool. Also, we got a lot of events coming up. We've got that toy drive going on now. That's November 2nd through December 15th. You can get 25% off a trip with us during this time if you show up with a new unwrapped toy for the toy drive. We've got our final Friday toy drive Black Friday party coming up Friday, November 25th. That's this coming Friday, folks. Join Captain James. He's going to be doing a big crawfish boil. We've got free beer, free sodas, free waters, free crawfish boil. It's a final Friday, big, huge party in Johns Pass. It's going to be a ton of fun. Definitely don't miss out this Friday on Final Friday. We've also been releasing some of our Black Friday deals the past week on our social media channels. If you missed it, we're going to go over some of the Black Friday deals now. Those Black Friday deals start Black Friday, and they're going to run all the way through end of day on December 17th, the day we have our Supporters Club and Regulars Club Christmas party. So join us for the Supporters Club or Regulars Club Christmas party if you're a part of our Regulars Club or Supporters Club, December 17th from 4 to 7 p.m. And then everybody is welcome to join us for our crawfish boil, November 25th. Richard Fonzo, appreciate those stars, buddy. So here's some Black Friday deals. We've got lots of lures on sale. The Rapala X-Rap Magnum 30s are going to be 30% off. We've got Boone Trolling Tackle and lures for 30% off. Williamson Trolling Tackle, 30% off. We've got Saltwater Sports NaCl H2O apparel for 25% off. The Hubbard's Marina Mahi t-shirt and performance shirts are 25% off. We've got the Hubbard's Marina Classic hats for only $5. We're going to be doing custom bull bay rods, killer sticks and monster sticks, billfish trolling rods, and select combos. Daiwa BG and Eliminator Series combos, all 25% off. Killer deal on the Daiwa LD50 2-speed Saltiga. This is a Saltiga LD50 2-speed, only $549, regular price $699. So big old savings, $150 off Daiwa Saltiga LD50 2-speed. We've got tons of Daiwa reels on sale for 25% off. Daiwa BG and BG MQs. We've got tons of Daiwa bags, tackle bags, cooler bags. We've got Costa sunglasses and Calcutta cups. The Calcutta coffee cups are $40 or 40% off. The Costa sunglasses in-store only, 30% off. Daiwa fishing bags and tactical backpacks from Daiwa, 30% off. So killer deals. All those deals begin, again, Black Friday, but they run through end of day. Again, end of day, December 17th. So you've got about 3 weeks to take advantage of our Black Friday deals. And we also sell gift certificates as well. So if you can't make it down to join us, you can purchase a gift certificate. Also, all the Black Friday deals I mentioned are going to be available on our online store. So the online store has options for you to purchase your Black Friday deals during that time period. Again, November 25th through December 17th. So crazy, crazy options in person, online, and then you can always purchase a gift certificate as well to include. So you could buy your special someone a 25% off fishing rod and reel for the Black Friday deals, and then go on the website and purchase a gift certificate and give them a crazy awesome Christmas. We're not doing discounted gift certificates. We ran into a lot of issues. We stopped doing those discounted gift certificates 2 years ago, and we will never do them again because of the issues that we faced. Charlene, Trusty Heart, appreciate those stars. Appreciate it. Thank you very much. So we talked about inshore photos, nearshore photos. We talked a little bit about our Black Friday deals. It is time to get into the weather. But before we get into the weather, we're going to start it off by giving away our first free trip of the night. We're going to actually give away a first free thing of the night. Let's give away our Salinity Gear gift pack first. The Salinity Gear gift pack is going to be our first giveaway of the night. Let's see who the lucky winner is. That is Kenny Mack with the Salinity Gear gift pack as the lucky winner. Appreciate you watching, Kenny from Tallahassee. You are the lucky winner of our Salinity Gear gift pack tonight. We still have plenty of other stuff to give away too, so stay tuned. Don't go anywhere. We'll see who the lucky winner is of our 5-hour half day for 2 guests, 10-hour all day for 2 guests, and our 39-hour fishing trip for one as well. So lots more giveaways coming up. Definitely want to stay tuned. Don't go anywhere. We're going to get into your questions here as soon as we talk to Captain Mike and get into a little bit of weather. Then we will get into your questions. But before we get into weather, let's chat with our good friend, Captain Mike Anderson, and see what's going on in the world of inshore fishing. What's going on, Captain Mike? How are you? You there? Are my headphones on? I don't have anything in my headphones.
Is he connected to Bluetooth?
He is Bluetoothed in.
Say hello.
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 There he is.
You got me?
I got you now, bud.
All right.
Can you hear me now?
Did you say a little bit of weather?
I said we're going to talk a little bit of weather. Not that the weather is very little right now.
Yeah, it's a little. She's a little gnarly out there.
She's
No
a
doubt.
little nautical.
Yeah, nautical, very nautical, no doubt. Going to change things up. Going to shuffle the deck for sure. You know,
Yeah.
the inshore scene's going to be dirty water and cooler water temps. I mean, it's going to change things up. These fish will be on the move, so it should be interesting. I saw some really good sheep's head photos that came through over the weekend. Some guys dealing with this cold weather. We're getting into the sheephead bite already, so that's a good sign. Seeing as how we're not even into December yet, so that's a good sign. So it'll be interesting to see what this weather does to the pattern, to the game, and all that as we roll into next week.
It will be very interesting. And just pulling up the weather while you're talking about it, just to get a glimpse of it, it's already changed significantly since last time I looked at the weather. So it'll definitely be one of those things, I think, that we're just going to have to kind of watch and wait. I know yesterday it was definitely significantly more bumpy than they called for. Yesterday was supposed to be a pretty nice day ahead of the crazy chaos today, but it definitely was more bumpy and windy than they called for. So it's one of those things. This time of year, weather gets really difficult to kind of forecast and know what's going on. Even day of forecast can be off by quite a bit. So definitely want to check the weather and keep an eye on it.
Yeah, this is going to be a pretty tough stretch right here. I think through the holiday, it's going to be a little off, just game wise. Just that wind changes a lot, and then this water temp being down, water being dirty, it just makes things really, really challenging, especially at the beginning of it before fish acclimate to it.
Yeah.
So I think for just a bit here, it's going to be a little bit of a tougher bite, but it's a fall transition, and we need the cooler weather. I like the seasonal change. I've been on the hook for many years talking about, sometimes November and December can be just brutally warm. I like the cool down. I think that change of season, I think that turnover in the water temp, that change of the game, I think that really helps us as we roll into spring. So, want it to be too cold for too long. We know what happens if that's the case, but I think some colder weather, water temps going down, killing off some of that algae, some of those things are a real bonus for us. So as much as I don't like it from the standpoint of not being able to be on the water or not be as productive when I am on the water, it's all part of the game. I think it's things that we need to have happen.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's that time of year. It needs a little bit of weather change, and it's healthy for the estuary for a little bit of cool down to happen and kill off some of the bacteria in the water and just kind of refresh the bay. And a good mixing is never a bad thing. We do have some comments here for you, Captain Mike. Scott Shepler, I believe, on YouTube, must also be a Real Animals Radio listener because he's saying, is there a rumor that Captain Mike's new boat coming from Contender is going to come complete with a wrap from Sign Zoo advertising his newest sponsor, Lumi?
Which new sponsor?
Lumi.
Lumi. Yes. I wish. Lumi is on board. We do have a new Contender coming, and it should be here end of February, early March, like it normally is. Usually a week or two after Miami Boat Show, I pick it up down there in Homestead. So the new boat is coming. I don't have a deal with Lumi, but
Are you gonna?
if those people would, if they'd want to talk to me, I mean, we could play.
Are you gonna? He wants to know: are you gonna name it the Stinky Bottom?
I do love the question. That's awesome.
The one time I looked at YouTube comments, that's what came up. I love it.
That's great.
Good old YouTube. That was funny.
It's funny. That's very funny. That's good stuff for sure.
Yeah. All right. So this time of year, if you were heading out there to go inshore fishing and you're kind of unsure of what's going on, like you said, the game's going to be changing this week with a lot of turnover, a lot of water temps changing. You're saying your best target species would probably be sheepshead?
Well, there's three things that happen here that would be, on my target list. I would throw artificials over the deep grass because, we know that trout are very cold water tolerant. And we've been seeing some better trout fishing here the last probably 2 months. So I would think that would continue to improve. We'd continue to see bigger fish, especially around the moon phases. I do like the inshore grouper bite right now, as we know those fish get more active, especially after big blows like this. It's going to concentrate those fish on some of our higher relief in the bay on some of the rock piles. So I think that's a very good target, whether you want to troll the rock piles, either with planers and jigs and jig heads, or if you want to, troll mirror lure 25 pluses, those work really well as well. And then I would start to poke around on the sheephead side. We don't normally get a lot of our bigger, females in this time of year. So you're going to be poking at the male side of it probably. But, that thing's going to fire off with this water temp drop, and you're going to be able to start to catch those, those males and still get some good keepers and some good meat on the sheepshead side. So I would think one of those three species is going to be your bet. What also happens too is when we get this, we get these blows and this cold front comes through, the water temp drops, and then that water temp's probably going to come back up again. And a lot of times in some of those areas, especially where you've got dark bottom, that snook bite can still be really, really good this time of year. Those fishers, if they haven't pushed into the river already, they're kind of staging to get into those creeks and backwater areas right now. Those dark bottoms that are outside of those areas that heat up first, they heat up quick. Those areas can be really productive for some pretty good snook fishing this time of year. So, that's something I'd be looking at as well.
All right. So snook fishing on the dark bay bottom, sheepshead fishing, or targeting those inshore gags. What about chasing schools of mullet for redfish with cut dead bait? Is it too early?
Yeah, it's just not. There's a really big redfish tournament coming up here the first weekend of December. The Power Pole redfish tournament.
So he's trying to hide the secrets.
No, I'm not trying to. I'm not fishing it. But I just think that it hasn't been very productive.
True.
I think normally I would say yes, redfish can be good this time of year, and targeting those mullet schools would be a key way to do it. This particular year, because of what Hurricane Ian did to the bay, that red fishing has got a little tougher. I wouldn't say it's as good as it normally is this time of year, just because of that. The beauty of redfish, that's another species that, because of its range, I mean, they catch them obviously Louisiana, Texas, all the way up the eastern seaboard, to the Carolinas.
Yeah,
they're pretty cold water strong fish too. So the cold doesn't deter them too bad. So even during these cold fronts that you have in November, normally you can still catch some good redfish. What we had that big pull of water out of the bay with Ian, where we had 75 to 150 yards of shoreline with no water on it, almost all over Tampa Bay. That's a big suck of water out.
Yeah.
And that changed the redfish game a little bit. So normally I would say yes, redfish this time of year, definitely a targetable fish. Find the mullet, do that deal. And you can still do that, and you will still pick up some redfish, but it's not what it normally is. And I think that's due to the hurricane and just what we had to put up with that big water drawdown.
Gotcha. Well, that makes a lot of sense. So we know our 3 targets: inshore gags, sheep's head, snook on that dark bay mud, and keep an eye out for what happens with the redfish as the weather changes.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yes, sir. I got you, buddy. That's what I would do. And I'm supposed to fish on Tuesday. We'll see if the weather lets me do that. It was looking like it was going to be impossible, and now some of the reports I'm seeing, like I might be able to pull it off.
Yeah.
Again, I think it's still going to be tough fishing because of the dirty water that we're going to have because of this blow. But, it'll just depend on how hardy my customers are.
All right, brother. Well, we appreciate it. Good luck Tuesday. Hopefully you'll get it out there. And don't forget, y'all, if you're listening, you want to go fishing with Capt Mike, head over to hubbardsmarina.com, click fishing trips, scroll down there to the inshore fishing trips, and under trips, right? Josh Chain. Yep. Yeah. Under fishing trips, go to private charters and then scroll down to inshore fishing. And you can find Capt Mike's page on our website with his phone number there, 866 Gamefish, and also the website and some helpful pricing schedules. So check us out. Check him out on our website and give him a call if you want to book a trip today. And we'll see you after the holidays, bud. Thanks for calling in.
I want to wish you and your beautiful family a Merry Christmas, your producer there, and all your listeners. I hope everybody has a great holiday. It's a special time, an opportunity to get together with family and be grateful for all the blessings that we get all year long. I don't think there's anything more precious than family. So, enjoy your family this holiday season. And, right after the holiday, we can get back on the water, or you can get in the woods or whatever it is you go to do. But take some time to really slow down and enjoy the holiday. It's a special time of the year.
Amen to that. We appreciate it, Mike. Thanks, buddy.
All good, my friend. Be good. Talk to you soon.
All right, see you, buddy.
See you, bud.
Always a pleasure chatting with our buddy, Capt Mike. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that little check-in inshore. From there, let's give away another free trip, and then we'll get into the weather quickly and then your questions. So first things first, we're going to give away a 10-hour all-day for 2 guests. Let's see who the lucky winner is. David Middleton with that 10-hour all day. And he got it. David Middleton. Remember, you got to text the phone number on the screen right there within 5 minutes to prove you're watching live. So make sure you claim your free trip in order to get it. You got to text your full home address to the phone number on the screen. We'll mail you out a certificate. Let's see here. Let's get into the weather. Show you guys what we're catching, or show you guys what we're seeing, what we're catching on the forecast, if you will. So let's start with our 5 and 10 hour wind finder forecast there. Definitely has changed considerably since I was looking at it last night, this morning. Still seeing very strong winds today. Tomorrow, still pretty darn windy, but it's apparently supposed to calm down, which doesn't make much sense. If the wind is going to stay pretty high, how did the seas calm down? But I guess we'll figure that out tomorrow morning. Hopefully the seas do calm down like they're saying, or it's going to be very windy and still pretty bumpy tomorrow. But if it calms down a little bit, it'll just be okay bumpy. Borderline bumpy. Tomorrow's definitely not a great day, but it's not a terrible day either. Today was pretty terrible. Tomorrow looks like it's a little below terrible, or a little above terrible, I should say. Definitely not a day I would recommend going fishing. So I'm going to throw that out there. It's one of those days where it's safe. We can go fishing. If you want to come with us, you can. If you ask me, would I go fishing tomorrow? No. Too many nice days in Florida. But it's a lose-lose situation for me. If I cancel, people are upset we canceled. If we take them, people are upset we took them. So all I can do is be upfront and brutally honest and tell you I would not go fishing tomorrow. But we are going fishing tomorrow, and you can join us. We will let you, but we will not encourage you. Tuesday, weather is calming down a little bit more wind-wise. Seas calm down considerably. Still a pretty decent chance of rain, but Tuesday's starting to look okay. Wednesday is actually looking pretty nice. Thursday looks good. I would say right now Wednesday and Thursday look best. Friday, wind picks up a little bit, but not too terrible. Seas still pretty moderate. Saturday kicks way up out of the west. Looks like prefrontal activity Saturday. Then front comes through. Looks like maybe Sunday. Wind dies down a little bit. Kind of looks bumpy through the weekend, but we're not going to go that far out because this time of year weather is very unpredictable. So we're not going to go super far out because it just becomes unrealistic that it would stay the same or even be close to remotely the same. We're going to work our way further offshore. This is our deepest water buoy along our coastline. You can still see here kind of pattern looks the same. It's going to be blowing today, blowing tomorrow, calming down Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday look best. Friday it starts picking up. Saturday is nautical. Sunday lays down. That's what it looks like inshore along a beach out to 20 miles and also offshore. Again, I would say best days to fish in the next 5 days would be Wednesday and Thursday, followed by Tuesday and Friday being okay as well. So if you had to go Tuesday or Friday, it doesn't look bad. I would say it's doable. Wednesday, Thursday look best. Monday, I probably would not go. And then too early to tell, but Saturday, Sunday don't look great. But it is too early to tell. We're going to hop over to Mike's weather page, top right of our weather links page, Mike's weather page, spaghettimodels.com, and look to see what is going on as far as prog charts are concerned. This is today's forecast. Low pressure move through. This is a cold front, frontal boundary, this blue line to our southeast. And this big old green splotch was the cause of that rain today. Then behind that, heading our way, is the tail of a low pressure, which is looks like an occluded front. That's what gets these blue triangles with reversed red half circles is an occluded front. This is tomorrow's forecast for our area. So tomorrow still really windy. Frontal boundary is pretty much stalling south of us. We got another frontal boundary sitting on our east coast. Pretty high chance of rain. So tomorrow's not looking great. This is Tuesday, day after tomorrow. Tuesday looks like a lot of rain chance in the forecast. Those little green triangles there is a significant chance of rain. Now let's get into Wednesday. This is Wednesday. Looks like a pretty nice day. This is Thursday. Still pretty nice day. This is Friday. Cold front pushing down. So Friday, not so great. And then we get into Saturday. Cold front moves through. High pressure settles in. And then back to Sunday. High pressure sitting pretty. So I would say Friday, Saturday, Sunday don't look awesome. Best fishing, like I said, probably going to be Wednesday and Thursday. Nick Nieves with 1,200 stars, but Billy Murray with 3,300 stars. And Nick Nieves followed it up with 1,200. So they're still, the Giants are still battling. We shall see who emerges victorious. We'll have to do some sort of tally to figure that one out, but they're definitely trading blows on the stars. So we talked a little bit about the photos, what we're catching now. We talked to Capt Mike. We talked over the weather. It is time to get into your questions. Let's see what questions we have and answer whatever questions you might have. And then we will get to our 5-hour half-day giveaway. and wrap this show up and do our 39-hour giveaway. But we still got about 15, 20 minutes to answer some questions. Are the Hubbard's Marina fishing rail noodles going to be on sale? No. We will never, ever sell pool noodles to cushion the railing on our boats, ever. Never, ever will I ever sell pool noodles at Hubbard's Marina, ever. So, no. You don't need them. Get a conventional rod and reel from us, and we will set you up and teach you how to fish appropriately. You don't need a little bit of cushion to make your fishing trip a little bit more soft and cushy. You'll be okay. Lean in against the rail. You will survive. I have faith in you. Staying on the weather, how would you approach a 39-hour trip going out on Friday? Differently than other 39-hour trips? I would say right now, kind of wait and see how it shakes out weather-wise. And if the weather stays how it is right now, there could be a chance that 39-hour might be in jeopardy, but right now it looks like that weather's going to come in early and kind of get out of the way before it gets real serious fishing-wise on that 39-hour. So you'd be fishing the backside of a front, which sometimes makes the bite a little bit softer, but hasn't really totally shut down the fish, especially in deep water. We haven't been noticing those cold fronts really shut down the fish. And it's not a super hardened down, long-winded front, so it doesn't look super crazy. So really, to answer that question, how would you approach that 39-hour this Friday? It really depends on what that weather ultimately does. But as it gets closer, we're going to monitor it really closely and kind of keep in contact. If it's bad enough that we have to cancel, we'll call you, email you, text you as early as possible. But you're always welcome to call and chat. But we'll keep you up to date through our morning videos each day as well. Don't forget to mention the FWC virtual workshop tomorrow. Great reminder. Really appreciate that. We do have the FWC Pelican work group meeting tomorrow night. It is a virtual meeting. It is open to the public, and there's a workshop tomorrow night. Let's see. Can you pull up WhatsApp, Josh? And I don't know. I guess it's going to pull up your WhatsApp. I might be able to pull it up on my computer. It is going to pull up mine? I'll just pull it up here. Let's see here. We'll put the link in the chat to the Pelican work group meeting. That's going to be tomorrow night at 6:30 p.m. Or no, excuse me, 6 p.m. So definitely want to make sure you join. This meeting is discussing potential regulations out there at the Skyway for bird interactions. And they're discussing about limiting the number of rods and reels you can use at the Skyway. They're suggesting outlawing and banning sabiki rigs. They're talking about banning treble hooks in multiple hook rigs. They're talking about doing a few different regulations. And there's even some conversations that there's concern about some bird groups pushing for closures, entire closures or partial closures of the fishing pier. And one of the big concerns we have is a partial closure of the fishing pier could potentially lead to eventually a full closure. So very concerning. Louis Canaveri, appreciate those stars. And Billy Murray hit us with another 1,200 stars. So trying to cement his lead, Billy Murray is. But as I was saying, basically, if they close part of the Skyway fishing piers and make it a bird refuge, what happens, do you think? If there's a concern about birds interacting with fishermen, and you take the most popular fishing pier in the whole region and close part of it to make sure birds can survive there and thrive there, right next to fishermen, what do you think is going to happen? More birds next to a lot of fishermen. Is the bird interaction and bird interacting with fishermen going to get better or going to get worse? Logic would dictate that if you have a bird sanctuary on a fishing pier, more pelicans are going to interact with more fishermen and potentially get hooked, right? Well, apparently logic is not in this equation or this discussion. There's no science involved either, because scientists would say you guys are idiots. Of course we're not going to do that or suggest that. But unfortunately, logic is out the window, and that's what's being discussed. So if they are able to close part of the Skyway to make it a bird sanctuary, it's going to increase the number of bird interactions, and it scares me because it's already going to kind of produce the opportunity or the reasoning to close all of the pier. Because if you close part of it and bring more birds there, and more birds get hooked by fishermen because there's more birds in a bird sanctuary next to a fishing pier, then you're like, well, the only thing left to do is close the whole thing. So we really need all the fishermen in the world to come out to that virtual meeting and help us to spread the respectful and calm message that we don't support any regulations not based in science, and we don't support any closures of any part of the Skyway fishing piers. Don Shewitt, appreciate those stars. So again, that meeting is tomorrow night, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. And Josh put the link in the chat, so definitely join us for that super, super crazy Pelican meeting tomorrow night. All right, let's see here. What other questions do we have? Do wahoo hang out in the Gulf all winter? Yes, we have wahoo spring and fall, and then some hang out all winter. It depends on those tidal currents, those tidal rips, those pressure or those temperature gradients in the Gulf. Definitely the most important kind of dictatorship, whatever dictates where the wahoo are going to be. I don't know. My brain went to La La Land there for a minute, and I was imagining the different ways you can use the word dictate, but then I digress. Josh dropped the link for the Pelican group into the chat again if you missed it. With your boat back from dry dock, what improvements or upgrades are you most excited about? You're not going to notice much as a customer because most of dry dock, the most expense and the biggest cost of dry dock all happens in the engine room. This dry dock, we replaced 2 new generators. We rebuilt parts of the engine. We rebuilt parts of transmissions. We did a lot of work below the deck in the engine rooms. We repainted the whole vessel, so it's a lot cleaner looking, a lot fresher looking, and a lot of love and TLC went into the engine rooms and generators. But one thing you will notice is we spent a lot of time replumbing all the live wells, the bathrooms, the toilets, and added more drainage because we added more ice boxes on the boat because we're killing a bunch of fish and having to ice them down. So it kind of shifted the way the boat sits. So we had some water draining into our heads that was kind of sitting there and not really leaving. So we added some more drainage to the heads so that way water drained really, really quickly and efficiently so we don't have standing water accumulating in the heads on long 39-hour trips where we're killing a bunch of fish, throwing them in the ice box, and it's melting ice and creating ice moving forward, melted ice moving forward towards our bathrooms. So we're trying to create cleaner environments and more creature comforts, I guess more enjoyable creature comforts. So definitely did a lot of work in that regard that you might notice. Let's see. We're planning to come in spring, around May. How is the fishing that time of year? Fishing really is dictated by weather. So it's really hard to say. In May, the fishing is great because we could have a early spring and it gets warm really fast. And in May, we're already kind of in a summertime pattern. Or we could have a really late spring and it could be really windy and cold late in the year. And it could still be kind of spring in May. So May is one of those months where it could be really, really springish or really, really summer-ish. So it depends. But typically, that's a good time of year. My favorite times of year are those transitional periods where we're transitioning from cooler water patterns to warmer water patterns. So typically around early May and around early October are those transition periods in my favorite time of year. Early May is really a great time of year, along with early December and early October. The reason I like early May is you're on the backside of the crazy, chaotic spring break, and you're on the front side of the crazy, chaotic summer break. So early May is kind of that little reprieve where you can take a deep breath and enjoy a little lighter loads, a little reprieve. So it's not quite as crazy. So definitely a good time of year, early May, early to mid-May. How bad is red tide for fishing right now? So red tide is not, I repeat, red tide is not in our area. Red tide did bloom on the backside of Ian, and it is creating a lot of issues Sarasota south. Josh, can you go back one? We'll give them the full map, even though I don't want to. But here's the full map of red tide along our coastline. Why isn't it zooming in? That's weird. But I guess we'll zoom in for it. It was zooming, it just wasn't reacting. All right, there we go. Bear with me, guys. It's my first day using a computer. So here we go. Here is Pinellas County. You can see basically Sarasota south to around Marco Island area. It's pretty red tide heavy, especially around Port Charlotte area that was hit with Hurricane Ian. That's where it started. That's where it's worst. And hopefully it doesn't continue to creep north. It's creeped north as far as kind of south Anna Maria, north Sarasota, but it's moved back south again a little bit. So just definitely not good for the folks down there off of Hurricane Ian area, Port Charlotte, Northport, Fort Myers, Naples. They definitely have the worst of this red tide right now, and it basically sprung up behind Ian and it's not really gone away since. But it is not affecting our area. It is not affecting our fishery, and it is not anywhere close to Hubbard's Marina, Pinellas County at the moment. But it is around, and what concerns me is the really, really bad red tide we had in 2018. That came because in September of 2017, we had Irma. Irma came through, made landfall very similar to where Ian did, just a little further south. And Irma came through and made landfall, went ripping through the state. And one of the outcomes of Irma, we had a little bit of bloom of red tide right where it made landfall. That red tide sat there all winter long. And then in spring of the next year, 2018, it spread north. We had that Piney Point spill, which didn't help. And then it spread into Tampa Bay, got crazy, and really bloomed hard and heavy and hung out in Tampa Bay for months. Year almost. So I'm really hoping and praying that doesn't happen, because it's on our doorstep. So the last thing we need right now, when you have a powder keg of red tide at your doorstep, don't get out the gas pump and pump gasoline on it and start flicking matches, wondering what happens. And that is what happens when our local municipalities start dumping sewage and other crap in our water. So they do it a lot. Hopefully they don't do it right now, because there's a powder keg, there's dynamite at our front door. And we don't need our local municipalities adding fuel to that fire. So I will say that now. It's not in our area. It's not affecting our fishery, but it's close, and it just needs a spark to pop off. And just hopefully it doesn't. Nick Nieves, appreciate those 600 stars, buddy. Thanks for changing the subject, Nick. All right, so it is time. Let's give away our 5-hour half-day trip for one guest, 2 guests, 5-hour half day. For 2 guests, lucky winner of the 5-hour half day trip is James Brazier. Congratulations, James, with that lucky 5-hour half day trip for 2 guests win from Jacksonville, Florida. James, you got 5 minutes or less to claim that free trip. Text that phone number on the screen, buddy. All right, we got time for one more question, then we're going to wrap up and give away our 39-hour trip. Does the toy drive go towards the 39-hour trip? No, it is towards non-specialty trips. So your $5 unwrapped new toy does not get you $150 off a 39-hour trip. I apologize. But it does give you 25% off a 39 or a 10-hour. So you could literally bring a $5 to $10 toy and save $35 on a 10-hour all day. So come on in. Join the toy drive. Help out the local community. Do you have 2-speed Daiwa in the store, and what rod do you recommend with them? Yes, we have a ton of 2-speed Daiwas in our shop. We've got the 40, 50, and 60. We've got a bunch of the rods. We have a bunch of the combos, and the Daiwa LD50 2-speed is going to be on sale for $549 for Black Friday. $150 off. Billy Murray with 1,200 stars. Trying to stay ahead of that Nick Nieves guy. Appreciate you guys so much tonight. He's up by 1,000. Josh did the math on break. So Billy Murray's in the lead by 1,000. Are there 39-hour SPJ or slow pitch jigging trips booked for 2023? Not currently, but we will be adding some slow pitch jigging trips. We wanted to make sure we got our schedule out, our regulars club done, and then we're going to release our specialty special schedule for slow pitch jigging trips. Nick Nieves with 500 stars. He's creeping back in. Enjoyed volunteering yesterday at Metropolitan Ministries. Brings a whole new perspective to Thanksgiving. Thanks, Dan Bennett. It was nice hanging out with you at Metropolitan Ministries. Unfortunately, I had to leave 2 hours early, help relieve the wife with the kids. She had an appointment. But I heard Nick Nieves stopped by Metropolitan Ministries with his better half and dropped off a bunch of food. So I missed you, Nick. But it was good hanging out with you, Dan Bennett, Francine Brenton, and her other half, Tammy, stopped by and dropped off a bunch of food. So it was good seeing all our regulars club, supporters club, and fishing friends out at Metropolitan Ministries yesterday for our food drive. We hope to see you all for our toy drive we have going on now, too. Let's see. Is it possible to get some photos from the November 3rd 10-hour? Mikey and Capt took some pictures that were never posted to the website. We post all the photos that we get to the website. Unfortunately, not all the photos we get are sent to us. All the photos that are taken are potentially not sent to us. And that's a lot of times the issue that we have is people will be asking about photos posted to the website, and it's because they were never submitted to us. In order for us to post them, they have to be submitted to us. But we're going to double check here real quick. Yeah, nothing on the 10-3 10-hour. But Captain Frank took the GoPro out on a recent 10-hour and got a bunch of photos that are posted up to the website here. But Paul, if you shoot me an email, info@hubbardsmarina.com, we can try to hunt down whatever photo you might be looking for. So with that, we are out of time. Want to make sure we remind everybody watching our schedule comes out December 1st at 11 a.m. So if you want to book some 2023 trips for gag grouper, for mangrove snapper, for red snapper, for anything at all, our 2023 schedule comes out December 1st at 11 a.m. You can book on the phone, on the internet, in person. The best way to do it is on the internet. That way you can have the trip pulled up soon as 10:59:99 rolls around. 10:59:59, be ready, because those spots go like Taylor Swift tickets on Ticketmaster. They fill up really quickly, especially the opening day of red snapper season. So don't sleep if on December 1st, 11 a.m. Be ready on the website, credit card in hand, credit card saved to your Google Chrome, and ready to rock and roll, because trips will fill fast. And if you call and saying, I didn't get the spot I want, how is this trip already filling up? It will just fill up more. Last year, I had a guy call me upset that the trip he wanted had already 5-10 people booked on it, and he couldn't get the spot he wanted. And then while he was on the phone with me, the trip sold out. I felt so bad. I was trying to explain to him that people are booking online, and it happens really fast, and the trip sold out. Typically, the first couple of red snapper trips sell out really, really, really fast. Not quite like Taylor Swift tickets, but I would like to think it's close. At least the first couple red snapper season trips. So make sure you book your trips December 1st for sure.
I think the light load 39-hour trips might sell out before everything else.
Yes, we do have those light load 39-hour trips for big ballers like Billy Miller and Nick Nieves. If you want to spend a little bit more money and guarantee a light load during red snapper season, we have 3 special 39 hours next year. Only 3. It's like June, I don't know the dates off the top of my head, but we have 2 in June, 1 in July, and it's only 35 people instead of 50. 15 less people during red snapper season. It is a little bit more expensive, but it is a super light load during red snapper season. So you're going to spend a little bit more money, but it's going to be pretty awesome. So we offer 3 of those next year. We'll see if they're popular. If they're really popular, we'll offer more in future years. But for 2023, we've only got 3 light load 39-hour trips, and we'll see how they sell. Steve, what's up, buddy? O'Brien's Fishing Club president. Thanks for the stars, my man. So make sure you holler at the schedule, December 1st, 11 a.m. Big shout out to our friends over there at Gator Jim's Tackle, 3301 Pinellas Point Drive South in St. Pete. This show is made possible by our friends at Gator Jim's Tackle. Again, 3301 Pinellas Point Drive South in St. Pete. Stop by. Tell them Hubbard's Marina sent you. Also, don't forget to become a Supporters Club member if you so choose. Great way to show your support. Help us out. Also, huge thank you to Billy Miller and Nick Nieves and everybody else who sent stars tonight. The stars are also a great way to show your support and help us out and help us to fuel more live stream shows. Want to give a shout out to our other friends and sponsors over there at the Real Animals Fishing Show, Garmin Electronics, Yamaha Outboards, Bass Pro Shops, Engel Coolers, Salt Strong, and Aquatic Nutrition Sport Fishing Chums. Don't forget to check out Hubbard's Marina on TikTok, Pinterest, LinkedIn, Instagram, YouTube, Snapchat, Facebook, Nextdoor app, Fishbrain app, Waypoint TV app, Trovo, and Twitch. Definitely join us on all of our social medias, and hopefully we'll see you for the Supporters After Show. You can become a supporter right now at the link in the chat. It's only $4.99 a month, and you get access to our private after show and a lot of other great benefits through the week too, and a little bit more one-on-one communication. So hopefully you'll join us for the Supporters After Show, which will start at 9:45. Y'all have a great night. Let's see who won our 39-hour fishing trip for one guest. 39-hour fishing trip for one guest. Let's see who the lucky winner is. And don't forget, y'all, if you're too busy to go fishing, you're just too darn busy. Hopefully we'll see you soon at Hubbard's Marina. Don't forget to like all our pages. Make sure you like any posts or comments or videos you see. The more you like our posts, comments, and videos, the more you engage with us on social media, the less likely you will be to miss our notifications when we go live. We go live on Facebook and YouTube every morning, and every Sunday night, 8:30 p.m., we have our live stream show. We go live on TikTok almost every morning, so stay tuned for that. I will be out of town this week coming up for Thanksgiving. with my family. Then I'm coming back and we're going fishing and camping out at Fort DeSoto with my family. So about 7-8 days there, you'll be without my live videos in the morning. So I hope you survive. I know I will miss you. Hopefully you miss me too. But we're not giving up. We will be live next week, the Sunday following Thanksgiving. So we'll be here. I'll be here. Hopefully Josh will be too. Thank you, Josh, for making me sound great and doing such a great job for the show. Thank you all for watching and joining. Let's see who won the 39-hour fishing trip for one guest. 39-hour fishing trip for one guest. Lucky winner is Shane Nicole Aldridge. Shane Nicole Aldridge from Satellite Beach, Florida. Congratulations, Shane and Nicole. You got 5 minutes to claim that free trip. Text us at that phone number on the screen. Y'all have a great night. Have a very, very happy and blessed Thanksgiving. Y'all enjoy. Eat a lot of food. We'll see you guys next week. 1 week from today, Sunday night, 8:30 p.m. Be there or be square. Thanks for watching, y'all. Tight lines.